Ban. Radiant's turn to pick.
Earth Shaker.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Ten seconds.
5 seconds remaining. Turn to pick.
Dire's turn to pick.
Abaddon?
Hello guys, and welcome to the Epicenter Major SCA Regional Qualifiers. We are here in the grand final again to watch who is going to be the second team to qualify for the SCA region. TNC being the first, second could be Fnatic, it could be MYSG.
Brings a smile to my face, Swordfish, every time you say that team name. The power of Malaysia, Singapore, and Australia. Power, MYSG!
I think it's a wonderful team. I just want to say
it's grown on me. I hated it the first couple of days.
No,
I think now we're in the best of 5.
It celebrates the international culture of Dota, you know?
Sure does.
It's fantastic. I love as well that Australia is just like a trailing here, like an afterthought.
Plus,
like,
by the way,
your cast is the Swordfish and Gareth for the narrators for the final.
No breaks, by the way. No breaks.
No breaks, and we will be giving a slight shout out because, you know, it's the final. So the guys that made this tournament possible, one of our sponsors, Ray Gaming, thank you for sponsoring Epicenter. And now let's get to the draft. We have your favorite hero picked up already.
Yeah, I love Earthshaker. He's beautiful. Absolutely hate Abaddon. Disgusting horse-riding bastard.
Alright, so they combine Abaddon with the Shadow Shaman, which is actually a really strong combination. We were talking earlier about why you hate Abaddon and you need to be deleted. One of the things I was saying is that Abaddon is when you pick him, you pick a support without a stun, right? Which sometimes puts you in a pickle because it limits your second support. But Shadow Shaman is particularly great with Abaddon for that very reason. You bring double stun, double CC to the table, in addition to, of course, having a bit of pushing power, which Abaddon also brings if you manage to ever get to the level, 12, I think, is when you finally
start taking your passive.
Yeah, we start taking your passive.
It's also like nuke damage as well. Ether Shock plus Mist Coil.
It's very strong.
If you kind of forget about the healing aspect of Abaddon that brings a lot of beautiful sustain to the table in that laning stage through Mist Coil, it gives you kill power. Gives you a pretty good sniping ability to your opponents. Now, Fnatic. We saw plenty of them during the group stage, start of the playoffs, looking pretty solid. Get themselves all the way through to the grand final without dropping a game in the playoffs and only dropping 2 games. You said it was TNC and MYSG in the group stage that took a match off of Fnatic, so they're looking real hot, especially in these longer series. They seem to be the undisturbed kings after TNC of this Southeast Asian qualifiers. MYSG with what, 6 games in a row? Coming into a best of 5 today. It's going to be a tough one for them, but it's potentially also momentum for them. Thinking about the way things have gone,
that's a good silver lining.
Kind of developed their draft. They're thinking, right, we're warmed up. We're really warmed up, guys. We've played 6 games. Our fingers are ready. to get things underway. And I've gone for some comfort picks. We love the Pelosi and Earthshaker. Winter Wyvern for Winter is obviously a beautiful little signature hero that he has been picking up alongside the Oracle as his kind of two-hero pool. Fnatic, it has often felt like they are much more versatile in their draft, though. The way that they can spin out of an Abaddon Shadow Shaman dual support start into their cores later on.
I find it quite interesting that, how the Winter's been played by Pamaska, because all the other SA teams usually pick it either as a counter to Drow or maybe as against a particularly strong physical core lineup. Whereas Pamaska is just a hero like any other. It reminds me a bit of EG during TI5. Was it? No, TS6? Was it? They've started them all together. Crit. When Crit was the...
I can't remember now.
No, TF5 was the one that won. Never mind, yeah. That must have been TS6.
5 seconds remaining.
Sure.
Yeah, I think.
They meld all together for me as well. You're looking at me for an answer and I'm just going to be like,
Anyway,
I can't remember.
It's a Winter Wyvern, which is played a bit differently, right? You play much more for the counter initiation, not necessarily as a counter to physical damage. I mean, you're up against a lot of magical damage to begin with. And you also have the power of push in the lane. You have, obviously, a save and sustain, which we were talking about how important that was. That's why the Oracle's been picked so often. Even though it's not the best sustain in the world, right? Because you do stun your hero. It's alright. Now, the Winter Wyvern Earthshaker combo, you know... We saw this earlier, and you do have kind of weaker lanes with these as opposed to Shadow Shaman and Abaddon.
So your cores need to pick up the slack and get some kill power on them. That's why Fnatic here, Lifestealer. The other option, likely Juggernaut, would have been on the cards. Heroes that are very difficult to play into. Difficult to activate your lanes as an Earthshaker and Wyvern to actually look for kills. The cores like Lifestealer.
Yeah, Lifestealer.
Razor being banned out as well means we have that hero to counter out.
Seconds.
Nasty little man.
And the Ursa as well. So,
5 seconds remaining.
It's still the CK off lane if you want. I've never seen these guys pick it, but that's still a thing for Lifestealer. The Sven, okay, that's another hero that does deal quite nicely with Lifestealer. And even though we have not seen them these qualifiers, he could still pick up a Sven offlane if Fnatic decide to counter him with their offlaner themselves. Not like you have many options though. So Fnatic have last pick, so I'm assuming they're going to pick up the Ice hero here.
Give me Brew. Brew for Ice. I think if they had a couple of supports that had AoE, they might think about the Darkseer. Oh, really?
Okay.
Ice Timber. We love this.
That's fun to watch. Great against Winter Wyvern, because usually Cold Brains means nothing.
Interesting position to pick it in, though, with 2 responses open and 2 core heroes open for this Winter stack. Start looking towards heroes like Lina, potentially.
10 seconds.
To be able to neuter that Timbersaw. Didn't expect a bounty to come out, though. That's going to be your lane opponent for the Lifestealer, more likely than not.
I love that, actually. We see the power of bounty last time against... It was Skem that picked it, right? They picked him twice, and you saw him against Terrorblade, quite strong. But I think the bounty versus Lifestealer is one of the matchups where he actually shines a lot. High armor, not the highest HP, which means Feast does nothing. Abaddon, you don't care, and you don't care that he's one of the few heroes that harasses. Well, he's the only hero that harasses by taking away your gold. Like, that's a very specific kind of harassment. So Abaddon sustain doesn't mean as much. And you're usually going to lane Abaddon with Lifestealer.
If only Missed Call gave gold when you used it on your allies, right?
That would be balanced. That would be incredibly balanced. I think they should add that. Great suggestion. Thank you, Gareth. With Timbersaw picked up, though, for Fnatic, Bounty Hunter's also not too vulnerable to him. And having the track on Timbersaw is also quite important if you want to chase him. Because we're probably going to see, you're talking earlier about the power of Blink Daggers, right? Sven Blink Dagger, Earthshaker Blink Dagger for sure. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Winter Wyvern Blink Dagger as well. So track allows you to chase this hero quite nicely. And Timbersaw has to have a good lane for this to go well for them. So you're up against the Winter Wyvern Sven. We'll see how that works out for them.
They've got the option of making an Abed Timbersaw depending on the lane matchup, but I feel like it's 9 times out of 10 going to be that Ice Timber, right? So we're looking for mid lane matchups now. Final ban's very important. Looking at the catch for Pamaska, it's not substantial. They've got Blink Echo, they've got Winter's Curse, they've got Sven to stun. Heroes like Ember Spirit and Storm definitely out there for Fnatic as those elusive mid lane carries for Abed are exceptionally important.
Lina ban. Okay, so you're missing a mid laner. You banned the Lina. What could that mean?
Storm, Ember.
Yeah, first to come to mind. Or any... There's no hero that wins against Lina, so I guess you're not... There's no ideal thing.
Shadow Fiend? I want something maneuverable, mobile that can either catch and allow the Shadow Shaman and Timber to close the gap.
TA Ben, you might be going for this. So, what else? So the lane is on the pool, so why'd you ban the TA?
They want to go Alk?
Maybe.
Is this...
But Alk against
Is this
Lifestealer
okay Alk?
and Timbersaw?
Well, it's okay. Like Radiance, Shivers Guard, you get Mischance, you
10
get
seconds.
armor.
But Timbersaw Swirling Gust still affects you. And
5
then Lifestealer
seconds
obviously
remaining.
feasts you. Obviously, yeah, you get the items, but...
Yeah, I don't think Alk is particularly good. It's just, why ban TA?
I'm thinking, you might be thinking Shadow Fiend here.
Ember,
But Shadow
SF.
Fiend against Lifestealer... okay against Timbersaw, to ban him. You want to heal the create space for the Sven, right? You don't want to be too greedy.
Do they think about Pugna again? Decrep against Lifestealer is pretty good at saving.
Yeah, I agree. And
These
Pugna-
magic damage against Timbersaw as well is always real nice.
Yeah, and because that decrep cannot be purged away, because you're usually decrepping your allies, right, from the Lifestealer, then Abaddon
Radiant's
doesn't have an
turn to
impact.
pick.
The Puck. Okay, yeah, we actually forgot about the classic hero who TA does not want to, or who doesn't want to lane against the TA, though not very common. Waning Rift is one of the few zero cast point silent, or not zero cast point, 0.01 I think it is, cast point silence against Timbersaw. Able to stop Rage as well, if you're quick enough with those fingers. And he has a way to cancel the Shadow Shaman without committing too much, which is usually quite nice, so you're looking for those area stunts. You have a lot of disables and sustain, or sorry, disables and
5 seconds
damage.
remaining.
Leash stops chain, right?
Yeah, you can't chain if you're
Yeah.
leashed. Yeah.
But you can chain first, and then
Oh.
snap the coil on your way out. I'm just
I'm
trying to
not-
think of ways that Timbersaw can play around Dream Coil.
So I'm thinking
But it's
about
hard.
that. Wait, so if you're leashed midway, your Timber Chain is not stopped?
I mean, so if you throw,
'Cause you're
if you
stunned-
throw Timber Chain and it like connects to a tree, and then Dream Coil,
Right,
lands
right,
on
right,
you,
then you're
you'll
fine.
go to the end of the chain, onto the end of the coil, right, and then snap and stop there.
But you know how if you get stunned as
that's-
Timbersaw mid-chain, like mid-throwing your chain, the chain, like you stop throwing your chain?
Yeah,
Does that happen with Leash as well?
I don't know.
That's... Because Leash is the newest mechanic, right? So
Yeah.
that's why we're a bit unsure about
I mean, Timbersaw is a pretty rare hero nowadays as well.
because he's garbage, because he's not good.
Well, they
He-
pick Ember into the puck, into that leash, regardless. They give Ember, Abed that Ember Spirit, which I kind of wanted, the maneuverable mid lane hero.
Ember's mid lane matchup against Puck with a Sleight of Fist build with 2 points to Flame Guard, not getting Searing Chains, is not that bad, to be honest. You can even go 2 Sleight of Fist, 3 Flame Guard to really mitigate that damage.
And chains against puck is super nice. Like, they've got a leash versus leash,
later,
right?
yeah, exactly. And it's like Illusory Orb is not like Dragon Slave. You can evade that with Sleight of Fist quite easily. It's the slowest moving project. So I don't think the matchup is that bad. The Puck can harass you though as Ember, but now you have a bit of armor as Ember. It's not like the old Ember where any physical damage literally destroys you. You know what? I think the drafts here are actually both quite deep. We've seen a lot of uneven drafts, but I think this is similar to the last games we've watched. They both have their little plans. I would say Fnatic probably proposes a bit first because you have a Timbersaw Ember Lifestealer combo. But Palmascal with a Bounty Hunter.
I mean, think about the lane permutations. I think Fnatic have the upper hand across at least 2 of the 3 lanes, depending on how they set it up. Like, if they're a 2-1-2, I think they have the advantage across the board. Earthshaker and Wyvern, we talked at the start of the draft how they aren't the most dynamic heroes. They're very good at kind of reacting to what their opponents are doing with Arctic Burn and Fissure, and maybe setting up for a kill if they are in position for it. But their cores don't really do a great job at that. Sven offers you a stun, yeah, you can maybe catch up onto a Timbersaw. But if, in particular, in my mind anyway, if you set up this try versus try Fnatic with Shadow Shaman, Abaddon, Lifestealer against a Sven, Earthshaker, Wyvern, I feel like the Dire are going to get crushed. Abed in that 1v1 against Puck should be a farm trade for the most part. There is potential there, though, for Abed to outplay.
Or for Puck to
Or for Puck to outplay.
You know, a cheeky Waning Rift can put an Ember Spirit in a really bad position. I'm very interested as well into how this Bounty Hunter lane kind of works out. Because
Puck, we could see even go for like the 1-3-1 build.
where you max... Yeah,
Max Waning
I
Rift.
think that's actually quite justified.
We see it against Queen of Pain. We see it against these, again, maneuverable mid laners, right? Ember Spirit, definitely one of them.
And it's great against Timbersaw as well. It's fantastic against Shadow Shaman because you usually can't catch him in the Waning Rift
Yeah.
way before he gets Aetherlens. We'll point out again, though, I do love the fact that they go for the Shadow Shaman position 4 here as opposed to position 5. We're seeing more and more of this transition from the position 5 Shadow Shaman as like a sacrificial support to much more position 4 with Aetherlens Blink Dagger build, and I love that build. It's so wonderful.
And DJ has won games single-handedly off the back of the Shadow Shaman.
DJ has won game single-handedly with any hero. This guy is a master. It's very wonderful watching good support. I feel like SCA has some very high quality, both mechanical and strategic
30
supports.
seconds to battle.
Okay.
All these lanes they want. Lifestealer.
This early game fight for Atlantia is a bit difficult though. Only Janata doesn't do much. Fissure at least blocks them though. So can you... It's going to be a bounty trade, right? With a Fissure allowing you to get this bounty?
It looks like with 3 heroes down here, they're just trying to chase and harry back this poor little Lifestealer. So yeah, double bounty rune down bottom.
At last, the battle begins.
BT faded trading with the mist coiling Abaddon. Up at top. So we get ourselves 2 for 2. Bounty sneaking down towards Shadow Shaman to block him off from joining the Lifestealer in that bottom lane. What's Winter up to? Sitting mid looking for Courier Snipe? I think he's done this every single game and not once has he found a Courier.
No, we watched a game in the group stages we did. Remember? Where he killed the
Was it Winter?
The pig. It was a Winter Wyvern. Now you're making me doubt it though. I don't know.
I mean, I can't remember. I legit can't. I'm thinking about today. We've seen him do this every game today and not accomplish the Courier.
Oh.
Top lane. Sven's in trouble. Or have you seen something bottom?
No. I was seeing if he could snipe the Courier. I was very excited, but no, Winter goes already in the top lane. This is what happens every time, though. They attack your core, and Winter's like, oh, guys, I'm a support. I should actually help my carry.
I mean, Abed had even held the Courier. The call had come saying, hey, Winter's off the map. He's not shown anywhere.
Or Winter does this every single time. Just don't bring the Courier until he shows.
And that's the thing. Fnatic probably been watching the games.
And this is a small advantage we were talking about earlier. Like, they do have that slight advantage against MYSG, which is that they have, what, 6 games that they've been able to watch? On top of them?
Yep.
On top of the fact that they also watched the whole open qualifiers, probably, you know, if you were preparing for MYSG. So you have a lot of things to learn from this team, whereas Fnatic, I guess they're better known, but relatively unknown as to what they would do for these regional qualifiers in this patch. Because they've played minimal amount of games, just to win everything. So Winter against Abaddon. At first, it's actually kind of difficult for the Abaddon because of the annoying Arctic Burn, but then Aphotic Shield comes in. So, it's not that big a deal. Once you get that Aphotic Shield, you're fine.
Pelosin in his classic spot, wandering between mid and bottom lane as that dire side Earthshaker. They do have an observer board watching him exactly where he was standing. We'll see him grab up an illusion rune. As Bounty Hunter looking to take the creep wave and sneak it away, but a good little pull through. DJ, oh, he doesn't quite keep the aggro going. Bounty Hunter, he's pulled a sneaky on him. That full kind of wave and a half now underneath his own tier 1 for that guaranteed CS. This is the problem with Earthshaker and Winter Wyvern, you know. Earthshaker hasn't accomplished anything. He is a threat on the board. He is on the map, hiding, waiting for his time to strike, and he will land a Fissure mid onto Abed. But outside of that, it is plain harassment. There is no kill threat.
No. Well, we've seen this happen a lot, though, unfortunately, where Paulson tries to get the kill onto Abed, but because of the hero he's playing, it's much more difficult this time, and he usually does try to rotate. He can't really help the bounty, though, unfortunately, either. Oh, okay, unless they go on him, and this would be great help, because Velo really needs it. Do they have a dust? No. Okay. Trying to kill the bounty hunter without dust seems like a impossible feat.
Just harassment. Burn through his salve, burn through his regen, try and make sure Velo's not comfortable in this lane. It's them signaling their intent, showing them that, hey, we can take you down to 20% HP. Next time we'll bring a sentry, we'll bring dust, and you will die. Oh, Abed's giving it a go mid. Nothing to say. Yeah, I had to phase shift and jaunt. Just jaunt away, not phase shift. Back between the tier 1, tier 2, but this is good damage onto that tower now, and forcing the glyph even, as Abed, with 90% HP against this Puck's like 20%. Flame Guard in 15 seconds. Could be a play to be made. Be a bottle refill. Jabs TP's in mid, gives him full bottle. And ISSI is pretty happy playing this 1 versus 2. There's no kill threat on the Timbersaw. There's no kill threat on the Lifestealer. And there's very little kill threat on the Ember Spirit. So every single one of Fnatic's cores very comfortable continuing to farm in every single one of these lanes.
And this is usually the reason why you pick a Timbersaw now. You want he has one of the strongest laning presences. That's the thing you can't take away from him. He has the reactive armor being super powerful in the early game, and Winter Wyvern is a difficult time actually dealing damage against that, because every hit from your Arctic Burn obviously gives you a reactive armor stack. So you try to pick the Timber to dominate the lane and then get a decent transition to a very good transition to the mid game. He no longer goes for the Bloodstone first rush that you used to see. He usually goes for the Hooded Defiance, Seal Scepter first, and tries to have an impact early. And it's working out for them. This is exactly the kind of Timber you want.
Yeah, even Greaves and Crimson Guard, good item choices on the Timbersaw. Any kind of
Greaves will be interesting.
Any kind of you know, team fight utility aura item. Timbersaw, spectacular carrier of all of them. Oh no. Winter just used a salve on himself instead of the puck mid. That's unfortunate.
Did he mean? No, he not meant to.
He wanted to use it on the puck.
Okay. Some dragon on dragon action, you know.
Yeah.
Just you don't always get to see.
5-minute runes. Does he have to Fisher block the jabs at Baden? He tries, but he doesn't succeed. He has to concede the bounty rune. Bounty Hunter. Unable to get to the more southern one. They get the dust off onto Velo. Photic Shield with the zap out and the shackles there. Puck will arrive to try and potentially swing it back for a kill onto jabs, but doesn't even commit for it. Realizes first blood is gone. What's happening top?
Top, it seems like Sven is in trouble.
Is he just dead?
Maybe, with a Whirling Death. Is level 2 already. Has no Timber Chains though. He's in a TP in the face of danger. Clever. So lack of Timber Chain means the Warcry is effective because your only damage here is Whirling Death. That's it. Auto attacks ideally would be the case, but you can't really do much with those with Timbersaw.
A real smart TP from the Sven though.
Yeah. He acknowledges there's no way you can cancel that.
Plosen just walking from lane to lane throwing fishes.
So the build for the Whirling Death level 2.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ever since they changed the trees thing, you're so dependent on the damage from the trees. Like the scaling is just not as good as it used to be. Before you used to get Whirling Death level 2 in lane because you know you're up against a melee carry. Now, I mean that really screwed over the Timbersaw. It was a very odd change when they made it. I think it was supposed to be a buff as well.
Felt a bit awkward.
Yeah, because remember I used to Timber Chain, and since you were Timber Chained, you had the extra pure no matter what, because of a weird bug in Dota.
Yeah.
I thought you were touching the tree. And now that's nothing. That doesn't mean anything.
Now you have to wait and try and time it perfectly to kill as many trees as possible. And Ice, right, so the great thing about Timbersaw is the fact that he can just sit under towers. Especially when the catapult waves come in, he tanks up for his creep wave. Level 3 reactive armor likely means he can, like, genuinely just go and shove tier 2 at this point. There's no one that can stop him unless Palmascal bring 4 or 5 heroes up there. But even so, you're looking at, you know, at a level 6 Sven who's already used God Strength. Wyvern at level 3 does find jabs. Could go for a TP if need be, but the Dream Coil will be there, and Snap and Abaddon. Does get a couple of very nice deep wards down, but loses his life in the exchange.
You reckon they noticed that he put those wards down when he's checking his inventory?
They'll probably deward one of them, but this is the great thing about double or triple warding an area, right? Is it's unlikely that both get dewarded. Because you've got like sentry spot here to try and catch these wards.
So that ward was here before though. This ward was here before, just by the activation. Okay, so he got this one. Alright. Please do. You were playing the center though.
Oh, I mean, you're going to need like 4 sentries to try and deward 2 observer wards if you're not perfectly lucky.
Yeah.
So there's no way, like, you very rarely sentry here to try and catch. So he catches one, they catch the fresh one, but they have no idea about the earlier one.
This is the better catch, though, ideally. Like, so they did see him ward, and...
Oh, that's a bad one. He gets a deward himself.
Oh, nice.
Happy boy.
Bottom lane, though. MP. Looking for that. He realizes halfway through, I don't think I can beat Velo, and if he tracks and jumps on me. And this is what I was talking about earlier with the Bounty Hunter versus Lifestealer lane. Yeah, you're not winning in CS, that's not really your job. But you're not doing that badly. I mean, only 1,000 difference when you've been pretty much left alone, and Ursula cannot help you in lane. Okay. I wonder if Velo, though, will play much more similar to Skem and play the Sacrificial Bounty Hunter, or if you'll decide to play a much more impactful one with the carrier utility or items.
That's a good question. I think they desperately need someone to bring the auras to the table, though. Against this Ember Spirit, this Timbersaw, there's just so much damage coming out of them that you need a bit of burst heal coming out from Mech or Greaves, whatever it may be.
You would like to see a Bounty Greaves? Yeah.
Who else is going to buy it? On this team?
Puck? No, I can't. You can't. That's not how you play Puck.
I mean, the fact that he's got phase boots and he's going into drums, it looks like it's just going to be the phase drums Vlad, something along those lines. So it means
Greaves later with the track gold one picking up.
I'm just thinking against Ember, Timber, and even Shadow Shaman to a large extent with that Ether Shock. There's so much kind of alpha damage that rips through one hero. Even in an AoE, a couple of heroes if they get too close to each other. You don't have that turnaround potential. Abed with his DD, toying with Winter, chipping away at that Winter Wyvern's HP little by little. Ice didn't take top tier 2, but he definitely put the pressure on. Level 8 on this Timbersaw now, going straight into Rod of Atos, in fact. Abed just sliding into the trees, knowing that there's people there. Both Winter, Peloton backing up this Nothing to Say puck as best they can.
This is the exact build that I was mentioning. 2 points to Flame Guard, Sleight of Fist, and then now you get a 1 point to Searing Chains. This is the way that you counter the puck in the lane, exactly as Abed should be doing. Upplayed with a drums as a first item just to get a bit of stats increment, and of course the extra movement's been always useful.
And now double bounty runes bottom for him.
Ooh, that's very nice actually. And there's no way you can contest this against an Ember as Searing Chain.
By Winter, but they get the catch. Abed with the magic damage. Jabs behind him, trying to burn through this Winter Wyvern. Easily catches him off guard, and Jabs denies, not quite. Velo will snipe him out. Then battle back into this Abed Ember Spirit. Old as he wanders on by. Don't get enchanted upon. Quick remnant up to the high ground. Keeps him safe.
Velo, is he swapping lanes with the puck right now as the puck goes and yeah, okay. So the puck is actually rotating to the top lane to deal with Ice, but realizes he can't himself, Nothing to Say. He's gonna jaunt to the orb, definitely, okay. Whirling Chain, or Timber Chain, sorry, is available.
So the puck is top, so it is to deal with Ice, but it's not to deal with the hero itself, just to try and clear the waves that push in.
Yeah.
So as long as you can stop Ice reaching the tier 2, the puck has accomplished the job.
Aggro to him constantly.
Mid lane is more in trouble. Peloton gets away. Didn't get chainsed up there. Looks like Abed had it on cooldown. I thought with the slight chains, maybe they catch it, but they'll go for the tier 1 take instead. And now the chains. Remnant forward. Dodge the Fisher. Find the kill. Nice enchant. Will buy some time. One more slight will do the final tickling bit of damage.
Did you see him drop the Stout Shield there as well?
What, Abed?
Yeah, take a page out of SA Dota. I love when they do that. You know that some of the players actually practice this in their lobbies. Like they straight up practice dropping and attacking, dropping and like not losing it. When you practice real BM, that's how you know that you're a real pro player.
Real skills.
Yeah. Everyone can get a kill. Can everyone do it while dropping the Stout Shield?
Nope.
Really.
This starts to become very systematic now for Fnatic though. MP has the Hand of Midas phase working on that relic into Radiance. DJ has been using Serpent Wards off cooldown for all these towers and pushes towards objectives. Top lane completely dead for the Dire team. They can do absolutely nothing up there to Ice. So Fnatic shift a lot of their efforts down bottom to defend this MP lifestealer. Velo getting caught with the slight chains. MP gonna give him a good old whacking. Still want to press forward and maybe look for this fight properly. Wyvern nowhere nearby though. Did back up to try and get some sentries and D-wards down. Misses out on that Radiant Observer, though. That is a bit deeper. The map just keeps getting smaller and smaller for the Dire team. They're trying to push out mid.
That Timbersaw is so oppressive right now. And look, this is what we were talking about earlier. The build to go for the Atos. So now the Hooded Defiance of Yols. Atos actually... It's actually a preferred item for a lot of Timbersaws right now. That extra catch is super useful, and the ability to cancel TPs is very similar to Viper, the reasoning Viper got for the Atos. Usually farm really quickly as well in the early game with a Chakram. So, I like the build for Ice, and for now, the inability to cancel or even touch this Timbersaw in the early game, it's gonna start to hurt. As Palmascal will have to deal with him at some point, and he's a very, very oppressive hero coming to the mid game. You're already saying their map is getting smaller. With the Timbersaw, it's even worse.
Jabs finally gets punished mid. Puck does have to spend the coil to stop Abed chasing though. Oh, that's a really nice play. Holy crap.
Wow.
Did he get this?
Oh, Nothing to Say? That was on point.
Abed God.
That was great. Well, how do you counter the Dream Coil leash?
Beat Abed.
Be Abed.
Be Abed. It's as simple as that.
We were saying the draft leash counters the Ember, perhaps not if you're Abed. Oh, there's the Searing Chains. And the snakes are dropped. Timbersaw continuing this. Whirling Death quite strong against the Sven.
Abed's like, sec, guys. Need mana. BRB bathroom. I'll come in a second. He's going to slay Winter once he returns with this remnant. Come on, Abed. No?
Okay, Abed is gone. There's a level that might be a bit suicidal.
Oh.
Okay, this TP, though, also could be considered suicidal. Chakram finds it. It's like, no trees for you. And the Ato stops the puck. Patience right after that root. Searing Chains, not avail, or they just missed him, but nothing to say, will die regardless.
And Abaddon gets his ulti off as that shuriken lands.
Did they have dust for this bounty?
They had a sentry,
but no longer.
No dust.
Okay, that turns out that Fnatic is...
But yeah, we're looking at Sven, who is theoretically a good hero against the Timbersaw just because of the Blink, God Strength, nuke damage with physical damage that you can get. A couple of good big hits into Timber. Definitely can clear him up if you've got the control for it. But the trouble is, Sven with his Midas, Echo Saber, BKB build won't have the jump capabilities, which means he's very reliant on the puck of the Earthshaker, making the catches. I don't know if you're killing Ice Size, to be perfectly honest with you here. This is still a real difficult kill to grab.
God's Strength is helping, though. Use the fissure maybe a bit too early.
You just need more control, right? You just need the puck being there would really gather you up a kill on that Timbersaw. Otherwise, you're missing out.
I mean, you still have control over him. I think they're actually going to commit to this. The Godstring's still available. Velo definitely wants to get the kill. Janata available with the crits. Ice, not many reactive armor stacks. He would be vulnerable if it was because Bounty Hunter cannot catch up to him.
Still unkillable.
He goes for the urn. I like the Spirit Vessel against Timber as well. It's fantastic. And against Lifestealer, if after the rage. Oh, look, Velo is just... I want to keep hitting Ice. I'm going to keep hitting Ice. But Ice is going to keep hitting you, and there's a tree there that just allowed him to get the kill. Easy kill. Ooh. And now he has 10 reactive armor stacks and looking to threaten the Sven, who's trying to TP away in time. Can they get the Searing Chains? Abed just wasted them thinking he'd get that with a sleight of fist. Unfortunately, he should have just waited for the vision.
I wonder how that missed.
He tried to he went through sleight of fist, Searing Chained him.
Yeah, but like, how did he not land it?
I don't know.
But it's gone from Abed God up top to Abed God. What's happened?
It's a really hard combo to land though with only one person. I think it's a bit about luck, to be honest. Because the sleight of fist change the time that it takes when depending on how close they are. No, it's just immediate, right? Regardless of the area. But then I don't know justification. The Naruto run for Velo, and he's gonna not do anything with it. I don't know about this Velo. Do they have a way to see him afterwards? They don't need it. The Searing Chain just kills him. Velo just committed suicide thinking haste gave him invulnerability, but unfortunately it just makes you quick.
Don't let them cross the river. And if they do, you kill them.
Yeah. I mean, in that case, Velo kind of wanted to be killed, right? He asked for it to something.
Well, he crossed the river. That's his fault.
Exactly.
Naughty boy. Abed shifting into BKB as his next item as well.
So, yeah, is Sven going for a straight BKB after the...
Yep.
Oh, right.
Orodovatos bottom. Poloson in the chakram is a goner, and then top lane.
This is a much more important kill, taking the puck down, and even Ember. It's actually up.
Yeah, Abed just shows up.
He just showed up to get the kill.
The long TP. The long TP.
Oh, that long TP
Sven
screws over the Sven. He has God strength. He's going to use it a bit too late, though. With the war cry, he's trying his best, but it's not enough as Abed dominating him. Wicked sick for him. Double kill as well.
Abed is toying with him at this point. He's got another remnant if he wants to go in for this one. Shield is there and Velo in trouble.
Oh, thank God that Winter's hoofs. And Abed might just kill his teammates. He's such a strong hero. He's going to kill his teammate as well. Abaddon acknowledging Abed's superiority, gives his life just to heal him a bit. That is actual devotion to a god. That is Abed god.
Yeah, Abed showing up top, getting a kill, straight back into mid. That long TP on Sven though. I was watching it thinking, oh my god, it's close. I was just watching the chains come off cooldown. And Sven, he knew. He cancelled his TP before he got changed. You know, it was very wise of the Sven to really turn around, stand and fight in that situation. Good awareness from him. This is looking spooky. His MP is 1,000 gold away from that full Radiance. Abed switches into Yules off of that BKB. Doesn't want to commit for that big teamfight winning item just yet. A little more leeway with the Yules. And we do have the Greaves on the Timbersaw, so that team fighting aura item ready and raring to go for this Timbersaw. And he's looking for a solo kill mid. Catches Velo, immediately blown up as Abed looks for the Winter Wyvern further north. 2 quick kills. Fnatic running away with this game now. 13-4. 8,000 ahead.
This is exactly the kind of game you're expecting for a Timbersaw to excel in, and it's just working so well. You know, he has... let's check for a second. I actually use this tab, but 580 gold per minute for a Timbersaw. It's running quite well. Velo's even tipping him, like, you know, dude, you're playing amazingly. Isis has been left alone in that top lane. You have difficulty dealing with him to begin with. Your Sven still needs a bit more farm to actually come back in. And while that Midas is kind of good on the Sven to, you know, help you transition into those items, it does slow you down a bit. And they can't be slowed down because Fnatic is running all over them. Even an Ember that's actually going to get a... Is he going to get a kill onto Puck?
Yeah,
this is a bit too difficult. Okay, the Remnant won't Puck up, blinked in time.
Oh,
He missed the Searing Chains again.
Right, that's 2. 3 strikes and you're out, Abed. I'm counting.
I feel like you're being so harsh on this poor guy.
He has God at the end of his name. He is a god. He is Abed God.
Okay.
He has to live up to his name, or his title will be revoked.
So he can't die because he's immortal as well?
No, he's allowed to die because in this game you respawn.
Oh, so that's still immortality anyway.
Yeah, I mean you pay money to the gods of Dota 2 to come back into the game.
Okay.
That's where all your money goes.
That makes sense, yeah.
When you kill creeps, money goes to the gods.
That's so cheap, man. These guys' lives are worth nothing, actually, then.
Yep.
Especially supports, man.
Worthless.
Literally.
No, but seriously, sick performance from Fnatic. It's going to take a massive smoke down bottom just to try and catch, but DJ so quick on his fingers. The Hex stops the Blink Echo. Winter's Curse will catch the lifesteal, and the Serpent Rolls drop down onto Velo. Now nothing to say, arriving as mid lane. It's faded battling. Yeah, he's alright. The big battle's down bottom.
Yeah.
And the Dire have given up.
There's the Puck. Okay, no, he has not given up. He's just been rooted forever. That's Searing Chains. He has 1 second finally. Okay, yeah. That's why that book took so long. The Sentinel's been used. Abaddon actually survives this. I think he was trying to commit suicide, but he couldn't.
So they still have the Blink Echo, but my god. Poloson blinks in. He wanted to blink enchant, I think. He didn't go for the Blink Echo, and DJ just immediately hexed him. The fastest thing I have ever seen. Such a speedy boy.
He's going straight Ags. Okay, by the way.
Yeah.
That is the build of a winning Shadow Shaman.
He's got it.
Yeah, he does have it. Like, you don't usually see this because it's such a one-dimensional build. You don't have the catch usually without the Aetherlens or Blink, which are better items, honestly. But if you're winning by this much and you don't need the catch, who cares? Go for the Axe straight up. And similar for the Lifestealer, we're seeing the full evasion build with the Heaven's Halberd now in the Radiance. Try hitting this guy, Sven. Try. Like, the whole point of Sven versus Lifestealer matchup is that you hit him so hard and so quickly, or murder him so quickly. He doesn't have a chance to heal back up with a feast. But not with this Sven. What? Timbersaw.
Ice has been in the pit for like 40 seconds, whining, screaming at his team to come and bloody kill him. Ice is not losing HP, but he's also not doing any damage to Roche. Needs the Lifestealer and the Shadow Shaman to arrive.
It's not like these guys are two great roast pickers either, or roast takers.
They'll get it eventually.
Just a matter of time. Where's the passive Abaddon? Where's your curse? Miss coils here. That's my contribution, guys. I'm gonna lead now.
There we go. I've poked him a bit. I've popped his Lincolns. In the meantime, you know, Abed's clearing out double wave top. He's managed to gather them up, herd them like sheep into... he's gathering them with his illusions. He takes the mid wave, the top wave, and I don't know if he got the bottom wave as well, potentially? No, he can't have. So he got the mid and the top, two top waves and one of the mid waves to try and gather them. No, he did get one of the bot waves. Look, it's returning to bot. So with his illusions, he actually gathered 3 waves and lanes to try and kill them top lane. Sneaky. Look at all the lines being drawn. Hey guys, there's triple wave bottom. We need someone to go clear that out, but
everything else is pushed our way.
High ground is also a pretty good option. Let's be real here. Serpent wards, level 2, Ags upgrade. Let's go.
Salberg finished on MP. And I think, I mean, they see Ice, and they see he's doing whatever he wants, but look at the damage. Ice realizes I'm God. Who cares about Abed God? They can't touch me.
And when he has Lotus Orb, he is literally unkillable.
He has Guardian Gaze already, so it's not like it's easy to begin with. Let's see, MP goes for the Earthshaker. Okay, nice cold embrace. And Abed now leash can still slide a fist himself. Oh, but the Winter Scourge is probably your best bet at killing a hero. Unfortunately, still not available. Abed will get away, and no heroes have been killed. Winter Scourge has been used. There's the Echo Slam still, so you have one more ultimate to try.
Blink Echo is still there. But Serpent Ward's doing so much work on these buildings. That's why they dive so hard, knowing that Aegis on Lifestealer and Abed with the maneuverability he's got, they can dive tier 4s. And Serpent Ward's just pummel the buildings.
Oh, did you see that? What did he just drop?
Bracer, he got stolen.
Okay.
Bounty took his Bracer.
Bounty took his Bracer, but then he takes his life as a good return. Bracer for life seems like a pretty bad trade. GG's call.
Yep, game 1 easy.
Wow.
17-4. Outdraft, outplay, outlane. Ice Timbersaw, absolutely disgustingly good.
I love it.
What a beautiful performance.
Yep. It was really well played.
Abed! What a